So yesterday we have learned about this clinical pharmacy. In that clinical pharmacy, we have learned the we can say the definition about the clinical pharmacy. That is pharmacist involvement in the monitoring patients therapy and giving we can say the advice, okay, which directly influence the therapy, okay, whatever be given to that particular person. Okay. Hmm. So okay, after that we have learned, okay, in this concept, okay, how the new responsibilities are coming toward the pharmacist, and what things are included in clinical pharmacy. So we have learned about that the patient counseling is there, drug history taking is there, okay, then parenteral nutrition, okay, when we are going to give to the patient when he is admitted into the hospital. Okay, after that, clinical trials are there. Okay, whenever there is a launching of new drugs, okay, so we have to take or we have to go through the clinical trials, and that clinical trials also, we can say that these clinical pharmacists they have to go through that. Okay, after that, whatever the research activities are there, so from that research activities also, the pharmacists have to perform a good, we can say the initiative role. Then after that, we have learned the various objectives of clinical pharmacy. After that, we have learned the qualities of clinical pharmacist. Okay, if the pharmacist want to become a clinical, we can say the pharmacist, then he must have some kind of, can say the skills. In that skills, the first and we can say the world's most recognized skill is the communication skill. Without the communication skill, we can't do anything. So the communication skill is one of the most important skill, and that the pharmacist must have to be acquired with, we can say, the very finest quality, so that he can be able to talk, okay, to the patients. Okay, in case of patient, we can or we know about that. Okay, there are many different varieties of patients are there. Those who know a little bit about the health, we can say the sector, uh, some terminologies, some definitions of, we can say the meanings of some words which we are regularly used in, can say related to the health sector. And next is clinical skills. Okay, so there are they are going to interact with variety of, you can say the various levels. Okay, they are going to interact with the patients. They are going to interact with the relatives of patients. They are going to interact with the doctors, with, we can say the paramedic staff. So that the clinical skills they must have. Okay, whenever they are talking, whenever they are discussing with the, we can say the doctors, so they have to be very, we can say that precise with the clinical terminologies and all the things. Next is whatever the documentations they are going to do. So in case of that documentation, they must have or they must be with, we can say the good clinical skill. Then only they are going to be able to perform good at their level. The next is the professional relationship. Whenever we are working as a professional with, we can say any job, okay, whatever be your position, so you have to be professional with your work, with your responsibilities, whatever the job you are doing. Okay, so they must have good professional skills over there. Next is the empathy. So in case of empathy, we can say that those who are the working over there as a clinical pharmacist, they must have a deep sense of knowledge about their, we can say, the work, their profession, and they can perform their work with dignity and integrity. Next is monitoring of drug therapy. So as we know that the role of pharmacist is going to be a bit changing as per, we can say, the traditional role. And that is, we are just preparing kind of medicines and dispensing. And afterwards, okay, in the initial days, they are going to prepare and dispense. Okay, when the industrialization comes and the companies are formed to produce or manufacturing of drugs. So the role of pharmacist is becoming unlimited meanwhile, okay, just to dispense the drugs. But nowadays, Okay, as we are focusing on the, we can say the pharmacokinetic and dynamic of drug, how the drug is going to interact with, we can say, it is going to produce kind of a positive, or we can say the good effects, or some kind of harmful effects, drug interaction, food interactions, and there are many different kind of, we can say the person is having various organ related if, difficulties. So then there is a, we can say the metabolism rate is very, their clearance, if the kidney functioning is varying, then this kind of we can say the problems they are going to encounter. So in such situation, how to be, the dosage will be adjusted, the what we are going to get from the drug monitoring, why we are doing it, okay, and how with the help of this drug monitoring we are going to alter the therapy of any particular person, okay, that we have learned in that. Then after that, we learn the functions and the responsibilities of clinical pharmacists. Okay. After that, we have gone through the drug therapy monitoring. Okay. So after that, we are going to learn about the medication chart review. Okay. So I'm going to share the slides now. Are you getting the slides?
Yes, sir.
So today we are going to learn about the medication chart review. So what is the medication chart review? Goals of medication chart reviews. Then to optimize the patient drug therapy. Okay, how it is going to be helpful, and to prevent or minimize the drug related problems. Okay, so in these three things, we can say this clinical chart review is going to help us. Okay, so this clinical review is one of the most, we can say, the integral component of medication review, and should preferably performed on daily basis. Know that whenever any person who is, okay, is admitted in the hospital, okay, or those who have got this experience, okay, they must have aware about that every morning. Okay, so the doctors are going to visit. Okay, they are going to perform the morning round, and in that round, they are going to check the files of each and every patients. They are going to put some kind of remarks. Okay, and they are going to discuss with, we can say, those who are handling that particular, we can say, the ward, or that particular ICU or semi ICU, whatever you are going to call it. Okay, the in charge of that particular unit. Okay, they are going to discuss with that person, and they are saying, okay, you give this kind of medicines to that particular patient. Okay, you use this and remove that. Okay, so they are going to tell. Okay, like they are going to address, okay, if the person is having any kind of antibiotic, and if we can say the WBC count is coming to the normal. Okay, so from that we are going to come to know that patients, we can say, the infection is now going to coming down. So in this particular time, there is no need to have this, we can say that antibiotics continue, okay, on daily basis. So they are going to remove that particular antibiotics. If they found that even after giving this antibiotic, uh, the situation is not in control, so they are going to replace any antibiotic. Okay, so they are going to change. Okay, so in this way, they are going to monitor that drug therapy. They are try to becoming very specific to that particular therapy for that particular patient on the basis of we can say the symptoms and reports. Okay, so these things are going to be happen over there. Okay, so this is we can say that medical chart review, and in this they are having a specific goals. So what the aims they are having, the first is to assess the response to the drug treatment. Okay, they are going to assess, okay, whatever the drug they are going to be used, they have used yesterday, and what the response they have got from that drug, that will be assessed here. Okay, if the response is appropriate, they are going to continue. If the response is not that much of appropriate, so they are going to think on that. Next is evaluate the safety of the treatment rate. So whatever the drug they have given, whether the drug are safe in the sense of they have not produced any kind of, we can say, the reaction. So if any drug is produced kind of reaction with the patient, so they can't be continue with that drug. So they are going to be select a better alternative in that case. The next is assess the progress of the, we can say, the patient and the disease. Okay, whether the disease is showing kind of we can say the controlled, okay, feature. Okay, whether the symptoms of that disease are reducing or what, they are going to, we can say, the assess over there. Next is they are assessing the need of monitoring. Okay, if there is a need any to observe any vital signs. Okay, so they are deciding if they want to study that particular patients, we can say, the blood pressure throughout the day. Okay, or they want to do any kind of sonography, or they want to do any X-ray. Okay, so they are going to assess the need of any, we can say, the monitoring of any specific vital signs. After that, they are going to assess the convenience of that particular therapy. Whether the therapy is compatible, they are going to improve the condition of that particular patient, or they have to think about any alternative. So these are, we can say, the things that we will get through the this medication chart review. If you are not going to do this, and if we are not following this kind of techniques, so then it is very difficult to judge, okay, whether the drugs are improving the situation of that particular patients or not. Okay, so for this medication chart review is, we can say, the one of the most important technique here. Okay, so the next is components of medication order review. Okay, so whenever we are going to review the medication order, so what we are going to do. Okay, so in this, first is the patient's specific and the local requirements. So what is exactly the current need of that particular patient is uh, studied. Okay, and through that, the first aim of the doctor, or we can say the those who are the dealing with that particular patient, any doctor is there. So the first, we can say, the aim is to make the patient stable. Okay. So whatever there is a vital signs are there, they are fluctuating. Even we can say whether it is the temperature, it is the blood pressure, okay, or whether it is, we can say, the platelet counts are there, WBC counts are there, any vital sign you can consider here. So make that particular patient stable with the use of medicines. And that is the first aim. And when that signs are stable, then they are going to, we can say, to make to improve the condition of that particular patient. The next is medication order is comprehensible and unambiguous. Okay, whatever the medicines are given to that particular patient, it should be the treatment should be very straightforward, and it should be very, we can say that, without any ambiguity. Okay, so any doctor came over there and they are going to study that medication order. So it should be clear to that particular patient. It should not have any error in the writing also, or any error in the medications also. So it should be very clear and without any kind of can say that ambiguity. It should have appropriate terminologies. Okay, so whatever the terminologies they are going to use, okay, it should be appropriate. There should not be any other meaning from that particular, we can say that terminology, and they should use the abbreviations, those who are common, everyone knows, okay, in that particular hospital. Okay. Next is they are going to ensure that the medication order is appropriate. Okay, so it should be appropriate. It should be appropriate to what? Okay, to the patient previous medication order. So whatever the previous medications are given should be appropriate to that. Then patient specific considerations. Okay, disease state. Okay, or any other, we can say, like in case of women. Okay, so it may be a pregnancy, lactating woman. So in this case, they have to be considered all the parameters. The next is the drug dose and dosage schedule. Okay, it should be with respect to, we can say that the age, we can say the renal function, liver function of that particular patient. Okay, so if the patient is having, we can say, the renal a problem, okay, we can say that disorder. So then the dose of that, we can say, the patient is not as per the normal persons. If the patient is having any problem related to the liver, so in that case also, so whatever the metabolism rate is there, so it should be reduced as compared to the normal human. So we have to minimize the dose in that condition. So the next is the route of dosage forms, and we can say the method of administration. Okay, so that should be appropriate for that particular patient's condition. Okay, the next is special condition should be given. Okay, if there is any kind of we can say the short course of therapy is there. Okay, so that should be mentioned. Okay, if any kind of antibiotics are given to that particular patient, so how many, okay, how many times they would give, okay, and for how many days. Okay, so that should be clearly mentioned or written over there. The next is relevance of medication for the cost effectiveness. So the most important thing is it should be like that. The doctor's focus should be like the patients will get the medications, okay, with a very cost effective manner. So it is, we can say, the responsibility of the doctor that he or she able to make the cost of the treatment as lowest as possible. The next is route of the dosage form and the method of administration. That should be clearly mentioned. I mean, we have generally observed this. Okay, so if there is any injection is given, okay, so written. So in which we can say the route it should be administered, okay, that given on that, okay, so it should be intramuscular, okay, or through the intragate or through the drip. Okay, so they have mentioned related to that. Okay, next is the patient specific conditions, and we can say the disease state that should be mentioned over there. So that is, we can say, the vital component of the medication order review. Next is the clinical review. Okay, so what is the clinical review? Okay, so these things are we can already came across many times. Okay, the clinical review. Okay, what they are going to do in the clinical review. So first is for any particular patient, the goal is decided. Okay, so according to that goal, okay, whether the things are happening or not, okay, that should be, we can say that assessed. Next is the assess the response to the drug treatment. Okay, so whatever the drug are given to that particular patient, okay, so that should be studied, that should be observed in the, we can say, the medical review. Okay, the things are the same we are going to observing here. Okay, so every, we can say, the alternate day the doctors are going to visit to the patient, so they are going to observe all the things, they are going to evaluate the safety of the treatment whatever be given. If the treatment is okay, it is not going to produce any kind of you can say the drug reaction or any drug food reaction is there, okay, whether the patients are compatible with that particular medicines, okay, any allergies is not having, or any problem related to allergy is not producing by using the very different kind of we can say the dosage. Okay, so these things are assessed here. Next is the progress of disease, whether the disease condition is in control now, or whether that we can say the condition is improving, the patient is now, uh, if that is needed any kind of, we can say, the support like oxygen support is there, okay, or we can say the ventilator support is there. So in this case, they are going to check, okay, whether the progress of the disease. Okay, yesterday, if the patient oxygen level is this, so what is the change today? Okay, so they are going to observe all these parameters. Then assess the need of change in therapy. Every day they are going to visit, and in that visit they are performing the functions like this. Okay, whether whatever we can say the therapy is planned for any particular patients. Okay, so whether there is any need to alter that therapy, change that therapy by, we can say, any particular using a drug, or they have to improve. We can say the to make the changes in that therapy. The next is assess the need for the monitoring. Uh, just we have gone through this. The patient is needed to monitor a kind of vital signs and symptoms, so that they are going to add that particular monitor. They are going to carry a kind of particular test, okay, whether it should be a pathology test. They are going to go for the sonography, okay, or they are going to go for the, we can say, the uh, scanning and CT scanning and all. Okay, so these are the things they are going to decide, okay, through this clinical review. Okay, when the doctor visits, so after that they are going to suggest this kind of, we can say, the procedures, and after that they are going to follow in that particular day. So this is what we know about this clinical review. Next is pharmacist, we can say the intervention. So what is the pharmacist intervention in this? Just a minute. Huh? So what is this pharmacist intervention? Okay. So the most important thing is intervention by the pharmacist. Okay, it is having considered, okay, as a valuable input by the health community, because see that pharmacist, if they are going to be we can say the expert related to the knowledge, okay, of a drug, and we can say the pharmacodynamics. So whatever be the opinion of that pharmacist, okay, in any particular treatment, that should be, you can say, the uh, reducing the medication error and recognizing the therapy, so that they are going to reduce the cost of therapy, or we can say the optimize the therapy, and they will get, we can say, the better uh, treatment over there. So this, by reducing the medication errors, by recognizing the therapy and the cost of therapy, okay, all whatever the prescriptions are there, okay, that must be reviewed by the pharmacist before dispensing. Okay, so that the pharmacists, they are going to exploring their knowledge, okay, related to the drug, so that the goal of we can say that patient treatment, okay, they get the optimized treatment and with a very minimum cost. Okay, so that should be uh, become a successful. The next is, there is any kind of error must be, we can say, the uh, stressed by that we can say the pharmacist. Okay. So that should be communicated, documented, and we can say that the result of that, we can say, the error, okay, uh, in the treatment, okay, that should be removed. Intervention by pharmacist is helpful to detect the medication, okay, therapy related problems, after which a proper solution will be given, will be implemented in the treatment of that particular patient, and thereby the therapy can be optimized for each patient. So in this sense, we come to know that, okay, whatever be the, okay, the treatment is given by the doctor, we cannot say it is wrong, okay, but the doctors are thinking uh, in the particular mindset, okay, related to that patient's disease. Okay, but the pharmacist, they are going to intervene each and every drug, okay, whatever the its effect, okay, with the, they are going to cross matching with that, whether the patient's condition in the previous days, months, and if we are going to give this particular medicines, okay, whether that medicines the patients are used in previous days, and what will be the effect of that medicine, so whether that uh, shown a significant improvement or not. Okay, so that should be analyzed by the pharmacist. If the drug is used and not shown any kind of significant, we can say, the improvement in the patient, so there is a no, we can say, the use repeating the same treatment for that particular patient. Okay, so this can be, we can say, we are going to achieve this kind of thing only when the pharmacist is going to intervene during the uh, dispensing of that particular drug to that particular patient at the time when the patient is came for the refilling of the prescription. Furthermore, we can say the many problems can be prevented by educating the healthcare providers. Yes. If we are going to give a particular training, okay, during this, we can say, the continuous education program, so they can learn through their we can say the mistakes, whatever they are going to be happen in the process, so that can be improved. Next is the goals and objectives for the clinical pharmacist on the wards round. Okay, now we know that if the pharmacists are allowed to take a round in, we can say, these hospitals. Okay, so what should be the goal, okay, for the pharmacist round in the hospitals? So in that, first is he must be gain improved understanding of the patient's clinical status and progress. So whatever the process, whatever the, we can say, the progress is happening in the patient's condition on the daily basis, that should be studied, that should be understood by the pharmacist, and he must note down, okay, whatever the drug is prescribed to that patient, and what kind of effect they are getting with the particular condition of any patient. Okay, so that they are going to analyzing the effect of a drug on any particular patient with various kind of different conditions. The next is they are going to optimize the therapeutic management by influencing the drug therapy selection, okay, implementation and follow. So they are going to get the optimizing. Optimizing means they are going to be a keen observation of that particular therapy, with, we can say, the managing, okay, the implementation and the follow. Okay, if we are going to have the implementation and follow of any particular treatment, okay, with this particular way, so they are going to give us this kind of a positive results. So that should be, they have to be studied, they have to be mentioned by the pharmacist. The next is investigate unusual drug orders or doses. Okay, any kind of a dose is given to that particular patient is of no use. Okay, so that should be investigated by the pharmacist, and that particular treatment is optimized. Next is to detect adverse drug reaction during the interaction. So while giving the treatment to that particular patient, any kind of adverse drug reaction, any kind of food drug interaction has observed, okay, has been able to be traced. Okay, so that should be studied by the pharmacist during, we can say, this ward round. Next is provide relevant information on the drug availability, cost, and storage. Okay, so that the cost on the treatment should be minimized. Also, next is to provide learning opportunities to the pharmacist. When the pharmacists are on the ward round, okay, so it will be, we can say, the opportunity for the pharmacist. Okay, they are going to study in this way the, we can say, the patient's uh, treatment. Okay, whatever be given, and in that treatment, various different kind of medicines they are going to be used in any particular situation. Okay, so how to study that treatment, okay, and how to analyze the use of drug, okay, how to judge, okay, whether the dose is appropriate or not. So this kind of this kind of learning opportunities pharmacist will get, okay, through the wards rounds. Next is medication history. So what is the medication history, and what things we are getting from the medication history? Okay, how it will be helpful, how it will be beneficial, that we are going to learn here. So what should be, or what will be the goals of the medication history? So in this, we are going to compare the medication profile with the administration record. Okay, so whatever be the record is there with the file of that particular patient, okay, and we are going to use, or we are going to compare whatever the medications are given to that particular patients are matching, means the dose. Okay, if any particular medicines is given twice in a day, so whether it is given twice in a day, or if they are used thrice in a day, or they are used a single once in a day, So that should be compared here. Okay, whether the medicines are given appropriately as per prescribed and as per the dose. Next is verified the medication history taken by other staff and provide additional information. If someone, we can say the doctor or we can say any paramedic, they are came and they are taken the history. So the pharmacist have to go through that history and he must be provide any kind of additional information. Okay, whether that particular person have taken the information rightly. Okay, if there is any kind of unnecessary information is there, so it should be removed. Okay, if any kind of vital information they have to be added, so that should be done by the pharmacist. Then next is documentation of allergies and adverse reaction. Okay, so during the treatment when the patients are admitted in the hospital, so any kind of we can say the adverse reactions are happened in the hospital, okay, due to the use of kind of medicines. If there is a drug interaction was happened, or any we can say the drug food interactions was happened, any allergies, okay, the patients has been encountered, so that should be studied, that should be reported, okay, that they have used this particular drugs and that shown a kind of this kind of allergies. So that should be properly we can say the recorded. The next is screening of the drug interaction. Whether any drug interactions are happened, then okay, what are the reasons behind that drug interaction? So that should be screened, that should be observed, okay, that should be studied. Okay, just tell me once that whether you are getting my voice clearly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is apprise the drug administration techniques. So whatever the drug administration techniques are used, so if there is a scope to improve, to apprise that drug administration techniques, so the pharmacist can suggest the changes in that. After that, he must have to study or examine the need of medications. Okay, so whether any particular medicines is there, we can withdraw or we can add into the treatment of that particular patient. So that can be examined by the pharmacist. And last is document, we can say the patient's medications. Okay, so whatever be the uh, medicines are given to that particular patient in a one day, okay, that should be properly documented. Okay, who had prescribed, okay, the sign of that particular person should be there. Okay, those who have you can say the administered that particular medicines, okay, or those who are you can say the in charge for that particular patient for the that particular therapy or treatment. So that person must be the countersign, okay, whatever the drugs, whatever the treatment is given to that particular patient on that. Next is we can say the each and everything should be in the legible manner. Okay, it should be in the proper documented. Okay, because we know that the whatever the, if somebody's mic is open, you take care about that. So next is we know that the document, okay, whatever the document is there, whatever the please there. Okay, so we know that whatever be the document is there, okay, that particular patient's file is there. So that is, we can say that very, we can say the authentic document, and that should be with the comprehensive terms and we can say the whatever the therapy treatment is given to that particular patient. It should be properly mentioned. It should be accurately uh, observed and examined. Okay, so we can say this is about the today's session. In the next session, we are going to learn about the, we can say, the importance of accurate medication history. Okay, so if we do the proper history of any persons, or we can say the patient, so what will the benefit the doctors and patient both we are going to get from that. Okay, the next is drug utilization review. Okay, so what is the drug utilization review, its importance and its types. Okay, so that we are going to learn in the remaining topic. Okay, so the drug utilization review is one of the, we can say, the important bit from this topic is remain. So that we are going to learn in the next session. Okay, so meanwhile, you be in the class for your attendance. So I'm going to stop this sharing here.